Hello pupils, let's start the unit 10 that is about vertebrates. So in this unit we are going to see another group of animals. We have seen the invertebrates, now let's see the vertebrates. What are the main characteristics, the more important characteristic of this group? Well, in this group the main characteristic is that they have an internal skeleton. The internal skeleton having a spinal column, and the nervous system is complex. It's not so simple like an annelid, for example. And they have sexual reproduction, but some of them can have asexual reproduction too. So, to summarize this, the main characteristic is that they have internal skeleton with a bone that is the spinal column. The nervous system is really complex, it's not so simple, and they can have the two types of reproduction. If we see the groups that we have in the vertebrates, we can see like the evolution that has followed like a line or a road from the water to the land. So the first group, the older in the vertebrate groups, are fish. From fish comes the amphibian. If you remember, amphibian, they can live half of the life at water and the other half of the life on land. So it's like a first step to be on the land. From amphibian evolved to reptiles. Okay, and now with the reptiles there were two different lines. One line gives the birds, and other different line give the mammals, okay? But both birds and mammals have a predecessor that is a reptile. So the mammals and birds are more modern than fish. Remember, this is like evolutionary in time, okay? These are the older and these are the modern. Okay? So another thing that is necessary to clarify is the adaptation to the temperature. Remember? Well, the vertebrate has two different adaptations. One kind of vertebrates are homeotherm, where homeo means same and therm means temperature. Examples are mammals, like we, and birds. What does it mean? That they have the same temperature and they don't depend from the outside temperature. For example, you have the 37 degrees in your body and it doesn't matter if it's winter or if it's summer. But the other group that are called poikilotherm, the temperature of the animal depends on the outside temperature. Examples are reptiles, fish, and amphibians. So they don't have the same temperature in summer or winter. Indeed, some of them has to hibernate. If not, they can die because they can't resist the temperature. The first group that we have mentioned inside the vertebrate are fish. So let's speak a little about fish. Well, the first characteristic that we can notice is that they have gills. Gills is the organ to extract oxygen from the water. So they can have the oxygen from the water. They can't have it from land. So when you take a fish out of the water inland, the fish die. They can't use the oxygen. They don't have lungs. It's the organ that we have. Another interesting organ, and is an adaptation, is that they have a lateral line that is that, okay, and this lateral line, the purpose that it serves to detect movement. Imagine, it's like a radar, and the fish can detect any movement of the water when another fish come closer. So it's very useful, especially when you have a lot of predators. Another adaptation that is unique is the swim bladder. The swim bladder is an organ that allows the fish that they can regulate the depth. Okay, so they can inflate with air, so they float more and goes up, or they can insert water or a liquid, so they are heavier and they goes down. So they can regulate at what depth they can swim. Interesting, for sure. The classification of the fish, it depends on the type of skeleton. So there are two types, or there are two skeletons. The 99% of the fish are bony, have a skeleton with bones, similar to us. But there is another group that are called cartilaginous, that the skeleton is like soft. Okay, imagine, it's like when you touch your nose, this is cartilaginous. Or you touch the lower part of your ear, this is cartilaginous. Okay, it's softer. Example of this kind of fish are sharks and skates. Well, what is the advantage to have this? Well, apparently, this flexible skeleton allows them to do a lot of turns quickly, so it's good for predators because they can change the direction and catch the fish. Okay, well, let's take a look at the organs of the fish. So here we have the gills, remember, to extract the oxygen from the water. And we have fins that allow the fish to move. So we have the dorsal fin, that is here at the back. We have the tail fin, okay, at the tail. The anal fin, okay, near the anus. The pelvic fin and the pectoral fin. And the lateral line will be this, okay? This is the lateral line, remember, like a radar. The next group are called amphibians. And in this group, that remember, they live inside the water, and later they live on land, but they are not totally independent from water. They had to lay the eggs on the water. So the two groups are called anurans, that means they have different legs. So this leg, the front leg, is different from the back leg. And when they are adult, they don't have tail, okay? Examples are toads or frogs. The other group are called urodels. In this group, they have 4 equal legs. And obviously, they have a tail. What other characteristic had the reptiles? Well,